observation is that people really don't have the sensibility to recognize.
Yeah. I was in Spain. It was just the time when normal people started to have horses. And in Spain, normal people had no contact with horses whatsoever. Normal people earlier perhaps had a donkey. So only very, very rich people who had horses, or even as then vaqueros who were employed. They were, of course, very poor people. So all these new rich people, or what we would call just normal people, who then had a horse, had no idea whatsoever what horses were about, and no tradition at all. And there I also saw people riding on very, very lame horses, and not recognizing that the horse was lame.
I had this experience when I come close to Frankfurt, that there's people who get enough money now to have a horse and buy a horse,
Yeah.
and their horse is really lame or sick, and the first thing they ask you, when can I ride him again? I paid much money for this one.
Yeah, yeah. So you're just lucky to get in before the rain came.
Very.
Yeah, that is a little the idea with having a car. Bring it to have it fixed.
Yes,
So
yes.
when it's fixed, then I can drive again.
Yes. And I'm the one who's telling him I can fix it, but if I still cannot ride like you did before,
Yeah.
it's not a nice job.
So. Ja. Men vi skal prøve at se, om vi kan lave det samme nummer, når du sidder deroppe.
Ja.
Sorry, I can say in English, yeah.
Do the same thing.
Yeah. So, counter, and then let's speak a bit about the seat.
Started speaking English when we arrived. Then she heard us talking. Oh, it's Swedish.
Yeah.
No, Norwegian.
The young people have the mentality they paid for the horse, so the horse has to work for them.
Yeah.
Not they have to work so that the horse is fine.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad.
Yes.
You see, people nowadays are living in what I would call a monoculture. You see, out on the fields you have crops, and you have only the same kind of crops on the whole field. So if you stand in the middle of it, you would think the whole world only exists one kind of. A sugar can, for example. If you see one field just a sugar can, if you're a sugar can standing in the middle of that field, you will think there's nothing else on the world than sugar can.
Yes.
And that's a little like people are. They're living in cities and think there only exist humans. Animals are something that they only exist in zoo. And then there are some people having a monkey, and other people, other people having a horse. And they see a horse as exotic as a monkey. So if you plant a tree in the middle of sugarcane, a banana palm would in the middle of sugar tree in Denmark be as exotic as a normal birch that should normally grow there. So normally there would have been growing birch before somebody took them away that they could grow sugarcane. But in the middle of the sugarcane, a birch is as unusual as a banana tree. And that's a little like people are looking on a horse. There only exist humans in this world, and horses, they are absolutely exotic, and they have kind of fallen down from another planet. And that is a little scary. And the bigger the cities are, the more obvious the problem is. Now only one, you keep one standing, So when, exactly, I see it in your stirrups that when you give the horse a left standing, then you also take a left seat. Try to give her a left standing and then put your outside lower leg onto her stomach and feel if she bend away from it. Take your inside rein and take the shoulder a little out. Shoulder out. So when you, if you can move the head and move the shoulder, the next thing is to move the hindquarter according to it. So when you move if you are bending the horse, you can use your seat. That is one of the points, bending the horse to one side. We call it bending. Anatomically, we should call it rotation. So you are turning her chest, trying to ask her to turn the chest to the inside. Now you have the shoulder too much on the inside front leg. Yes, this is better. So if you take the shoulder too much to a front leg, then the rotation will get stuck on that shoulder. Try to move the shoulder a little out and the head a little more standing at the same time. Yeah, good. Then play a little with her head and see if you can make her relax in your hand. You feel there she's a little stuck. No, don't take her head to the opposite side. Just be on a standing, see if you can make her. Try to help a little with your outside leg and the inside rein. Taking the shoulder out and moving the head a little at the same time. Yeah, so here she is reacting very nice in your leg. Try the other side. She is reacting very nice in the rein, but she is not reacting in the hand. So when we speak about hand, we are speaking about the direct contact between your hand and her head. So try again to move her head a little. Yeah, good. So here you could move it better between more and less standing. But what we still miss is that she lower the head a little, that she relax the head a little. Try to take the curb. And see if you can make her relax. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So in this direction, there we go, yes. That you also can take a halt without her holding her nose against your hand. Yeah. Shoulder a little in. Yeah, exactly. That you feel that you can move her in your hand between the rein. That's too much on the outside shoulder, a little in again. Yeah. Okay, take it a little more in. Yeah, good. Between your reins, in your seat, with the point of balance. Exactly. But there are so many little details where you can work with the horse and finding out what detail makes in most sense just now, or as an end product that you anytime can take any. And that any part of her body lead to a complete reaction. The point where we get the best reaction is, of course, where we will start, and then feeling the parts which are should still have a little training. Exactly. That every aid lead to a complete reaction. Good. Then you are playing with your, what I call the physical seat. The physical seat is the physical touch of your seat to the stomach. That was where you made the rotation when you are standing, but also the movement you have to make when she's moving, that you are part of the movement. The other thing I call the statical aid. That is the point of balance. So we divide the seat aid, the body aid, in statical aid where you are moving the point of balance, and physical aid, that is where you touch the horse. Try again to turn your body into a shoulder in. Yeah, and now she didn't follow. So you gave a primary aid and she didn't listen to it. And in the moment she doesn't listen to it, then correct her. And that's the reason why we taught her secondary aid. So secondary aid I call hand, rein, leg, whip, voice. All these things we taught her from down. And therefore, be aware of that your primary aid is always the primary aid. So you don't work her with your leg and your the reins without using your seat. Exactly. So what we want to teach her is, yes, exactly, to react with your body. That what you do in your body, she shall one-to-one do with her body, follow your body. So already Pluvinel, he lives in the end of the 15th, so he dies in 1620. He says, my main goal is to ride the horse only from the hip. And then go on a circle. Now, ich habe ja gerade einen. Aber wie? Ja, vielleicht. Anyway. Then you have a movement, and in this case, a walk. That means the hind foot is active, and the activity of the hind foot is going into the hip, and that activity from the hip should pass through her chest, where you are sitting on. We call it swung, the three-dimensional swinging of the chest. And that is the reason why we put so much effort on the lawns to see if we could see if the horse were a back mover. If it's a leg mover, you will not have a correct swung, and therefore you will not be able to conduct that swung with your seat. Therefore, feel in your hand if he's coming to your hand. You felt him standing, he will not perfectly in your hand. So you must have a little more activity in behind, having the swung floating through her back, floating towards your hand, and on the way between the hind foot and the hand, we have the shoulder and the front legs that we train to see when the horse will running on the lawns. Also, between the hind foot and your hand, we have the chest that you're sitting on. The shoulders are, of course, sitting on the same chest as you are sitting on. The neck is sitting on the same chest as you are sitting on. So the way that the swung is passing through her neck into your hand, that is the way it has passed your seat. The way that the front legs are lifted by the swung is also done by the chest. And that is also what you should feel on the seat, on the way. So try to have the activity on your inside seat a little bigger, yet. A little shoulder in thinking, forward. That your inside seat is making a bigger movement, forward, down, a little bit helping with the whip that he goes a little more forward, inside, yes, a little more, yeah, that he has a big step of the inside hind foot, forward, and then feel in your hand, take your body a little forward, your upper body a little forward, and see if you can lift your seat a little out of her back. Means that you are making a little squeeze with your upper leg, lifting your seat bone out of her back muscles. So that we will call the closed seat. So take your seat bone out of her back. And forward. Yeah, we need a little more forward. Yeah, there she comes to your hand. So this forward towards your hand is feeling that the swung out of the hindquarter is passing all the way through the body of the horse. And in a moment it doesn't do, you will should correct the hind foot forward. That is what we put a lot of effort in on the ground. Stepping towards the hand. And now that you are sitting on the horse, you feel why it's called like that. So if he's stepping enough forward in under the stomach muscles are shortened. By that, the back muscles are lengthened, and that's the reason why the horse is giving in your hand. So you see the ears of the horse in front of you, and every time the skull is moving by the neck, the ears will be swinging forward, backwards, as this swinging is then the way that the spine is swinging with the neck and the skull. And every time a hind foot is in the air, the ears should swing forward. You see, now she do it. And sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes suddenly the ears are swinging backwards over. Forward, come a little more. Now they're swinging backwards over. This is wrong. This is right. Right, wrong. Right, wrong. So you see the difference when she is swinging forward over, yes, forward over with there we go. Now the skull and the ears are swinging forward. You see it? Yes, this is the 100% opposite swung. If the back is shortening and the ears are swinging backwards, 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 you see, now he's wrong over the back. So then the back is shortening and the hind foot is more pushing backwards than stepping forward. And if you get the hind feet, yes, exactly, forward, then the swung of the back is 100% opposite. Then the ears are swinging forward, forward. No, now they go backwards again. Yeah, we must change the hand. So this, you can see it with your eyes. If the ears are swinging backwards over, then the push is bigger than the forward step of the hind foot. Or if the horse is stepping forward in under the stomach, stepping towards the hand. Now again, she's lifting her ears backwards, so you must try with the whip to send the hind foot forward, forward. Yes, almost, yes, yes, good, good. Then you see the ears are swinging forward, over, forward, over. Now she loses it again. So she must step towards the hand, get more energy from behind. Take care not to sit too heavy on the back muscle. You must lift your stomach a little up on your upper legs, make a little squeeze with your ears, with your upper legs, and then swing her chest with your knees. So the swinging of the chest between your inside, yes, exactly. So we also call it the enlightened seat, which is of course stupid because we don't get lighter from doing it. That's okay if we do it very long. We might lose some kilos, but we just put the weight different. So we take the weight off her back muscles and put them on her ribs, and then swing the chest in between your upper leg. Yes, yes, there we go, there we go. Good, and stop. So the seat is a tool, but it can also do bad. Yeah. So when you do bad, she will drop the back, she will or make it stiff, or press it up like a cat back, or swing the wrong way around, or. Yeah. And therefore, what you've trained your eyes to see, and you have trained your hand to feel, you must now see if you can discover when you're sitting on her. Yeah. And that's the reason why we put so much effort into your hands. And because the hand you're bringing with you on the horse. So when you from down feel the softness in your hand, then you must from up feel the same softness. Yeah. That you with your hand can correct the feeling of your seat. The feeling of the seat is theoretically then new when you have never been sitting on a horse and just working it from the ground. That is of course not true because most people have already ridden for years when they come to me. Yeah. But we try then to build up the feeling in the hand because you can bring the hand with you on the horse. Yeah. The seat is then new. And it is the idea of what is good in the seat, what is bad in the seat. How does the correct swinging through the seat in under your seat feel? And that is your hand to tell if the feeling in your seat is right. Yeah. Then we can use the seat for a feeling into the horse and trying to get a picture of what we see through the seat. Then we can use the seat as a tool. And the tool, seat, can work with the part of the spine that we call chest. When we work with our hands, we work with the part of the spine that we call skull. But it's still the work into the spine. When we work with the rein, we work with the part of the spine that we call shoulder. When we work with the lower leg, we are still working with the chest. So the seat and inclusive the legs are working with the chest. Yeah. The lower leg rather with the stomach muscles, the upper legs with the ribs, so the chest, the rib into the spine, and your seat itself, the seat is touching is back muscles. The problem is these back muscles, the horse must lengthen to go over the back, that the spine can swing three-dimensional as it did without the rider. So if the spine starts to swing downwards because you with your weight is pressing it downwards, then also the back muscle has shortened under your seat, yeah. Which is quite normal when you make pressure on them. Therefore we use this enlightened seat where you just make a little squeeze. Try with your knees again to make a little squeeze and feel that your seat muscles, yes exactly, are lifting you out of the horse. That might be sufficient with some horses. Yeah. And then open again and relax down on the seat bone. This is, yes.
Quite different.
Yes. So when you relax down on your seat bone, we call it an open seat.
Yeah.
That your seat bones are sinking through your muscles. When you make a little squeeze with the upper leg, we call it the closed seat. That you are closing your legs and make this little pressure when your upper leg and lifting yourself up. You don't get lighter from doing it, but your weight is going over on the ribs.
Yeah.
And the back muscles under your seat bone can easier lengthen.
Yeah.
But when you make a pressure with your seat bone on the back muscles, then the normal reaction for many horses will be to shorten the muscles under it. And then they don't go over the back. That is a little the problem with riding without saddle, that people are not able to sit on the upper leg. So in the moment you are able to sit on the upper leg, you are actually sitting on a bigger area than people sitting on an English saddle.
Yeah.
You see the size of your upper leg and you see the size of the polster of the stopping of a normal English saddle. Then you see, okay, most people are then sitting on a bigger area when they are sitting on the upper leg.
Yeah.
Depending, of course, of the upper leg, but in most cases, I've seldom seen upper legs being slimmer than the polster of an English saddle. Therefore, the idea that you are sitting on a smaller area without a saddle is just true if you sit on the seat bone.
Yeah.
But if you sit on the upper leg, the area is bigger than a normal saddle, and it's on the ribs instead of on the muscles, like the saddle is.
Yeah.
Therefore, when you can take your stomach a little forward, it gets easier to sit on the upper leg. Try to take your stomach a little forward, then you feel that it's easier to get on your upper leg.
Yeah.
Then take the stomach, yes, you see the horse, then take your stomach a little back and open your seat. You see, this is more connected with each other, the open seat and being a little back at the seat. Then it has some other effect, of course, the point of weight. So as you took your seat forward, your stomach forward, then the horse went forward. Then you had movement.
Yeah.
Because you changed the point of balance, but you also had a horse that moved in that direction. So what we will do in the next days is that I will be speaking a lot and making little experiences and experiments. That we get into the idea, what is the seat as a tool?
Yeah.
What can the seat, what can it not? What is the problems with the seat and how to use it? Things that we can do even better with the seat than in the work from down, and things that will be easier from down than from up. That is the goal. So try, if you train in the afternoon, mainly to go in and play a little in standing, and then into walk and see what's the ears, as the skull, of course. It's not the ears, but you can see them sticking out of the mane, and see if they feather in this way or if they feather in this way.
Yeah.
If the neck is, if the spine is going downwards, downwards, or if it's going upwards, upwards. And then feel in your hand. If it goes that way, see it with the ears and try to feel how it feels different in your seat.
Yeah.
That you feel the swung going over the back.
Yeah.
That is a very important step in the life of a rider. To be able to ride towards the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is sufficient with information for today. That I'll not add more that you forget most of it for tomorrow.
Det är lätt att åka någon. Det är lite stressigt.
All this technique.
Ja, kan det.